Hi, my name is Challa Prabhu. Today I am going to talk about meta tag and a quick recap of file tag features. Why? Because a file tag is an old feature integrated with a meta. So before that, let us see what is Madcap Flare. Welcome to Madcap Flare training session on meta tag. Madcap Flare is a powerful authoring tool designed for technical writers, content developers, and documentation specialists. It enables the user to create, manage, and publish content efficiently. With features such as single sourcing, topic-based authoring, and multi-channel publishing, Flare provides an all-in-one solution for structured documentation. Welcome everyone. In this session, we will explore meta tag using the Madcap Flare. The goal is to give you a quick yet comprehensive overview of its features, functionality, and capabilities to help you get started. By the end of this session, you will be familiar with the difference between file tag and meta tag application interface, key features, and workflows. Now, what is file tag set? File tags are an older way to use metadata in your Flare project than meta tags, which are the preferred solution. If you haven't yet created file tags, I recommend that you use meta tags instead. And if you are already established your file tags and applied them to your files, you can still use them by linking them to your newer meta tags. This allows you to use the tags in many more ways. So what does it mean actually? It means a file tag is an older way to use metadata, and they have been there for quite a long time. And now, since you have already created some meta tag sets, you can leverage those file tag sets in meta tags. So that means we can leverage the older version of a file tag set inside. So the use case here will be use case for file tag set is you want to keep a track of which authors are writing which topics, as well as the status of each topic. So what does it? Assume that you are a technical writer, you are a manager, and you want to allocate some topics to your team members, and then also you want to track about the status of each topics that has been assigned to the respective team members. So how do you use that using file tag set? Because earlier it was file tag set and it still do exist now, even now, and then now today it is meta tags. The reason why I want to cover file tag sets and meta tag sets are because when you go to the property dialog box of any topics, you will get a file tag set and a meta tags tabs on the left hand side of the dialog box. So I'll give a comparison between file tag and meta tag before I go to the use case. A file tag is a specific type of metadata. So what does a metadata mean? A metadata means it's a data about a data. It's quite often said that way, but it's still not very clear about what data about data is. For example, if you see a statue on the road or in a park, you just go closer to it and then see that it's a statue of some person whom you do not know, because you may be from a state where you do not know much about that particular person or individual. So when you see a name board there below, it describes more about the statue. Who is he? Why is he so popular? And what was his role during the period between that particular time period? So these are certain extra information about that particular statue. Similarly, so file tag is a specific type of metadata, usually user-defined keywords or labels. So here what I want to say is, as per the use case, I'm going to talk about who are the authors who will be working on that particular project and how many topics are going to be assigned to each writer, and how will the status be updated as and when the project is in progress. So that is the user-defined keywords and the labels applied to a file to help categorize and easily find it. What is metadata? What is a tag of a metadata is concerned? It is a broader term referring to any additional data about a piece of information. I want to true, because so comparison between file tag and meta tag. A file tag is a specific type of meta tag. It is usually user-defined keywords or labels applied to a file to help categorize and easily find it, which means that it could be a file in the project explorer, and you could associate that file to certain keywords such as the status, whether it is in progress or whether it is complete, and things like that. Or it could be also use a different keyword and labels which gives you the name of the employees who will be associated to those topics. While a meta tag is a broader term referring to any additional data about a piece of information, including file attributes, like a creation date, author, or even specific HTML tab used to describe a web page. For example, if you create a Microsoft Word document, the Microsoft Word document would automatically create a creation date and a modified date, the name of the author who is creating it, and then and if it's a HTML based output, then you could go to the vSource and see the HTML tag associated to the meta tag information about that particular document, so that it becomes easy to search the term and then retrieve the suggested matching terms for that particular meta tab through as a response. Now, key points to remember is the file tags are directly related to individual files, correct? Because one file refers to the author, the other file refers to the status. While meta tagger can describe a wider range of data like web page or even entire system. Second one is user driven. File tags are typically chosen by the user to categorize files based on their own needs. True, because I would like because as a project manager or as a documentation manager, I would decide to categorize the files, and then would like to share the topics to the technical writers to work on that particular file with appropriate status updates. And it is very important that the status update of those files will be updated by the author periodically, so that it updates the current status of that particular file. Or third is the HTML context. In web development, meta tags are usually referring to a specific HTML meta tag. This is very clear because when you open any web page, right click and go to view source. On the top, immediately after the title tag, you will find a meta tag. The meta tag is the information that will help you to find through the text or find through elements, and also certain attributes that are associated to that with that meta tags. So a search engine here is going to be Madcap search engine and not Elastic search. Okay, so maybe in the future it may support Elasticsearch, but currently for a kind information, remember that it is for Madcap search engine. So example is file tag, a tag which is being bind or which has been maybe tagging a photo with the beach, vacation or sunset. So it has got some relationship between the photo and this other extra information. And similarly, in meta tag on a web page using a meta name equal to description and content is equal to a block. So you can enter the tag name as meta and then the attribute as description, or you could probably come down and say that it will be like the content is equal to a blog post from summer travel, and the search engine will give you that information from the project, from the compiled project. So now we are in meta tag. Now before I go to meta tag, I just want to give you a quick demo about how to create file tag, and then show you a demonstration of how file tag is integrated in meta tag. Okay, so a use case. The use case is you want to keep track of which authors are writing which topic as well as the status of each topic. Okay, so we'll have two file tag here, and let's go and create it. Let me show you the demo. So now I'm in Madcap Player. So I'm in the project organizer. So you create meta tag under the advanced tab. Okay, so here in advanced I right click. I come here and say I want to add a file tag set. And remember, I'm demonstrating file tag set here. So I need two files tag set. One is for the author and the other is for the status. So I create one. Then I come to the file author set. Here I'll give the name as we give it as a demo author. So if you see the tag type is author here. Okay, click add. Now you go to the advanced tab, you'll see demo author. So we need to clear a second one. We need to create a second one, add file, then come down here. Now this will be file status tag. Then I said demo for status. Okay. Then here may ensure that the tag type is status here. Then click yes. Now you have seen that demo author and demo status is two file tags are created. Now if I come here to demo tag, I would like to enter the author's name here. Maybe it could be anyone for the matter. Now I'll put Komal, who is also one of the author here. And second I'll come here and say file. Similarly, I'll come to the demo status. I've entered 4 names for demo author, and if I come to a demo status, I can see that it is complete, in progress, ready for review, and ready for translation. Okay. Now I'll open the topic and associate this file type to those. Now I'll click on one topic here. Let us say that Ladybird Lake, the HTML. Right click, come to the properties here. Go to file tags. Now I'll click on the author here. I'll say Arun, and maybe I'll put Komal here. They'll come back to the status and say in progress, which means this particular topic which is listed in the Content Explorer called Ladybird Lake HTML is associated to Komal and the status is in progress. Say okay. Now the question here is, now how will I know, like if I want to give one or more topics to to 2-3 authors at the same time, and you not have to go and you not have to come and select that topic or right click each and every topic and then assign the particular author. That's another way of doing this. One is I can go to the table of contents. I can go to the table of content. If you see this view tree, okay, if you click on the view tree, I can get a list of all the files that is there in the table of contents in a grid view. This is one way of saying that what is the status of each and every file in this particular table of contents. Okay, so if I can go to the end, but also I can come here. I can export this particular TOC or this particular grid view to a .csv file, which is a common comma separated value. At the same time, if you come here and say if I come and click on this particular thing, you can see that see the whole standard table that you are seeing into a list of columns. So you can just manage, you can just move those columns whichever you want to the up or down. You can click this and click move up, or you can just say move down. So you can just manage those particular columns, and you can just rearrange the columns based on your requirements. So this one particular thing is there. But now I just want to assign the topic with a file tag which I given. So now what you are viewing here is a table of contents, but I actually want to view the project view because there are many files in the project which I need to assign it to the writer. Now on the left hand side, if you see the list of all the files in the Content Explorer. Okay, now I'll come here and then click on this particular toggle between the show files. Now what happens, you get a column view of this particular file. Now why did I do this is so that I can assign multiple files to a single user. Earlier it was difficult for me when I was viewing it in another mode, right? So when I was moving this way, it was getting difficult for me to assign multiple files to a single writer in the group. So by using this, by toggling between these files, I can just come here now. I can just select all the files I want. Now I can come and select the files I want, and also I could just, now I can right click and come to properties. Okay, now I can come to file set and then assign it to whom I want. I can just come to author now and say, hey, this is for Payal this time. Okay, it's not for Komal, it's for Payal. And then I'll come here and say for status it's going to be like it's already complete. Then I say okay. So now my manager can see that all these topics, which maybe are 5-6 topics which are assigned to Payal, has been completed. So this way what happens, the file tag works, and it's a very old feature. But then it's very limited in the sense like after meta tag has come, you can have more of the details inside it. So you can see meta information in the web browser, as well as we'll also see how you can search for such an information here. So this is file tag, and if you have I hope you don't have any questions related to the file tag now. Only thing you have to know that this is a table of content. If I right click view tree here, I think you are able to see, you'll get a list of all the information in a standard tabular form about all the files within the table of contents. And then this particular, and if you want to assign more files to, if you want to have access to more files in the Content Explorer, you can come to the Content Explorer pane and then click on that and then toggle between the show files, because you need show files, otherwise what will happen is you won't be able to assign multiple files. Otherwise what will happen is you'll just come here, right click, then go to properties, go to file tag, then do it one by one, which will take a long time. See? Therefore you have to just come here and click on the show file and then take care of which, just decide what need to be assigned to which one. Come here to properties, file tag, and then assign whichever author you want. You can just assign to maybe Arun, and then the status is going to be like is it ready for view, and say okay. So job done. So if you come to the table of contents and see this files, like first a knowledge check, second knowledge check, and the end, you see that these boxes are all colored, right? Which means that there are something assigned to them. Maybe there may be some conditional formatting applied to them, or it could be like some other attributes which have been assigned to them. So that is some extra information for you here. Okay, because I can also go. I can just close this, come here, and then I can just right click and then go to properties, file meta tag, and say I can just say okay, author, take out this, and then come to status, take out all this, and say in progress, and say okay. Now see what happened. If you look at the icon on the left hand side of each and every topic, it shows that there is some extra information there, which shows that I have assigned all the topic within the course content to one particular person. So for example, if I come here and right click this particular topic, go to properties, and see the file tag, you'll see this author is Arun, and then the status is in progress. So all these files which are in course content is all assigned to this particular person. That's what it shows by looking at that particular symbol on the left hand side of each topic. Okay, this for your kind information. Fine information. Okay, here is these things are not only for experienced users or people who have been working for quite a long time in Madcap but they are something called as we call it the best practices. So whenever you come to any project and start working, and you are unaware of how to work on Madcap the first thing is to go and click on the view thing and understand what each files are. Where do they get linked? Where do they get linked? So whether is this link broken or is it still valid? where is there any class or any style sheet associated with it, or what is there any condition applied to it? Yes, there are some conditions applied to it, which means this is going to be for knowledge test, this is go for default test. So you can get a very clear picture about that all the files in the project before you even start working on that particular document. Once you know about the inner details of your project, or if you go deep into insight of each and every topics, then you can know how much time it will take for completion of your project, assigned project. Okay, so this comes to the end of file tag, and now we'll go to meta tag. Okay, now before moving to meta tag, let me tell you a little bit about this table of contents. What you're seeing here. Say your table of contents has a getting started, procedures, FAQ, meta percept, tips, and company. Now, if you look at this particular thing, you must see that the meta percept which is there is a mini TOC. It is a table of contents which is part of the TOC, the primary TOC. Okay, so now what will happen? So you can also have all the files. You can come down, click on any of this and say locate me to the Explorer, and it will show you where this file is actually in your content folder. And at the same time, when you come back to a content folder and click on any of this file, you can just go and find out. So you can just right click this on the and find out locate in the TOC. So in either case you can just find out the file. So as a beginner you need not have to get frustrated. You can track the files. Okay, you do not have to go and know where is that particular file. So all these files and that are there in the topic folder is a reference to the source location in the Content Explorer. So it is not the actual file, it is just a reference. So you can have multiple table of contents. Here I've got two table of contents. One is called the TOC, which is a primary one which you are seeing now, and I also have meta percept one here. So why did I do this? Let me generate the file and show you what actually happens. Okay, so I'll come to the primary file. I'll just build this file for you, and you have to just have a look at where is this meta percept and whether it is placed properly in the site navigation. If you look at the bottom of the flare, you'll see that the build is in progress. Okay, and it also checks for any missing linked source files, and what's the target that I'm trying to generate, what is the starting time, and how much time it takes for me to complete this particular compilation of this project. So when it is done, when the compilation is complete, then the status will show you as done. Now it is done. Now I'll just double click on this particular file. Now you notice the meta percept, and you have to see whether it is proper. See, I have meta percept. I come and click on that. It shows features below, and then again it shows the features 1, features 2, features 3. Actually, it should not show meta percept. Meta percept is a table of content. Now this particular navigation on the left hand side is wrong. What I need getting started, procedure, FAQ, features, tip and company, not meta percept. So what's the wrong? How to fix this? Because in real life, when you work in any of the project, you may not have necessary people. You won't have people who have the capability to help you out in fixing some errors. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. Now what you need to do is you have to right click on the meta percept. Okay, then go to properties, and in the advanced tab, that is in the properties advanced tab, there is one checkbox called when merging replace node with merged TOC. So you have to enable this. When you merge this, then what happens? It will merge and replace the node with the merged TOC. That's it. Now let me go save it, and then build it again. Now the compilation is over, and now I'll double click on this file. Now what we have done, see, now if you see, I don't get a meta percept here. I directly get getting started, procedure, FAQ, features, tips and company. When I click on features, I get 1, 2 and 3. This is what I actually wanted. So for your kind information, whenever you work on any project, try to go deep into the insight of that particular product and see how it is organized. never get scared about anything, okay? Because what happens is it is you who have to go and fix it. There will be no one else to be along with you to come and guide you or help you fix this particular problem. So in this table of contents, you are not only having all the files related to that particular TOC, but also you are having a mini TOC, which is called MetaPersat, which is part of the larger TOC. Okay, so that's one thing that I want to tell you. So your primary TOC has also got a mini TOC within the PHP. It could be anyway. So just see how the files are organized, and accordingly you try to go and work in that particular project. First understand your files better, and then go and work on the project. Now I'm going to show you a demo on meta tag. We have completed file tag. We are coming to meta tag. So what is so you should have some meta tag tips because you already know about file tag. So we'll just see what are the how do you approach that. First thing you have to know, like on the right hand side, I've got an illustration which shows that the inheritance, how your meta tag set inherits across all the components that is created in the particular project. Okay, your meta tag set can inherit, your project can inherit that. It moves to project to target to template page, snippet, topic, micro content, and micro content phrase. Okay, so here I'm saying template page. For those who are new, it is template page, but people who have already been working for quite long time in MatCap it was called as a master page. Okay, now when you work on this, but you have to think about this inheritance. We can go anywhere and set the meta tag, either in project, a target, a template, or snippet. This you have to be very clear about. Okay, now when using MatCap meta tag key tips include creating well organized meta tag sets. So you have, just like I created a file tag with the author and the status, you should also be you should be very clear about what the meta tag sets you want to clear, whether you want to create it for some I'll just show you some examples, and I'll also show you how I have created some meta tags here. Using descriptive names for tags, because your meta tag should describe what is the purpose of that meta tag set. For example, if I say I'm going to categorize, if my file tag set I created my category for allocating the topics to the technical writers and allowing them to update the status of that particular project so that the manager can know the current status of that particular topics. Okay. Third one is applying tags consistently across your project. Correct. So you have to also be very clear about how you are applying the tags across a project. Project means it's everything. It inclusive of all the components, right? From target, a template, a snippet, a topic, variables, many other things. Okay, so you have to know that, you have to understand the inheritance, how it works. And leveraging tags for filtering and searching content. So as I mentioned before, I created some content in file tag, but then I want to leverage that file tag inside my meta tag so that my project, my project can use that metadata information for searching certain contents, or it can be used for a search engine optimization, and it could be used, and certain keywords that I've used could also be used in the project. But remember that today's search engine doesn't look into those meta tags and keywords because they seem to be not much significant today in today's search engine environment. And the last one is considering the industry standard when choosing tag names to streamline content management and improve accessibility within your document. So you should be using content management, right? You should know how to manage your content. You should also be in a position to know where all those particular contents are occurring in that particular project. So you should be in a position to know. For example, if I'm using some meta keyword of say a variable by some name, okay, or an author name, I should be in a position to get full detail about how many where all this particular author name is getting used in the particular project. So that would give a clear analytic approach of how many topics that particular author has been working on for in this particular project. Now, what is the key point about meta tags? As I mentioned earlier, for file tag, I'm coming to meta tag here. Now, what is the purpose of this? Meta tag acts as a metadata. So it acts as a data about a data. So it's something like additional information about a particular data. that helps you to categorize, identify, and control information within your Flare project, making it easier to find and manage content across different files and output. When I say different files, it's basically all the topic that you have created, and then it also depends upon the output, like what type of output is it, HTML5, or is it online help, or it is a PDF output, videos. So this all depends on all the type of different files that you have. So how do you create a meta tag set, and how do you apply the meta tag set? So these are two things which are very important, right? Because if I just say that if I want to create a file tag set, I'll say you need two file set, one file for the authors, the other one for the status. Similarly, for meta tag set, I have to go to the same access folder in the Project Explorer, but then this time I'll be adding a meta tag set, and then I provide a descriptive name for your meta tag set. Of course, they are similar like I gave a name for the file tag set, you will also give a name for the meta tag set. And add individual meta tags within the set with clear and meaningful names. Okay, so what does it mean? It means like when you create a meta tag name, you have to give proper names and descriptions, because your search engine is going to use those information for retrieving the information from your project. So now, having created this, okay, having created this meta tag set, now how I am going to apply them? You will open the properties of the file or a topic, and see, that's very important. Having created, now I created a file tag set, I right clicked on the file and then associated the author and the status. Similarly, for meta tag set also, you will go highlight, right click on the topic or a file in your project and select the appropriate meta tag set from the drop down and assign relevant meta tags. The moment I do this, and then generate, and when I do this and view the HTML text mode, you can see that particular properties are automatically getting updated into my document in the meta tag section of the HTML file. Why I am saying HTML file? Because every topic that is created in Madcap Flare is a HTML file. Okay, if I open that HTML file, it's a topic, whether it's a task, concept, reference, or anything else. Unless and until I open that particular file, I will know what topic that particular file contains. Okay, so you're clear now? So open the properties of a file or topic in your project, select the appropriate meta tag set, and then assign the relevant, because meta tag set I can have n number of set. Here in file tag set I just created one file tag set, one file for author, one file for status. So there are two sets. Here also I can have one or more meta tag set. Then the second one, what is the key points of meta tags? Madcap Flare 2. So here if you see, the functionality, organization, accessing meta tags is very important. Functionality is you can use meta tags to add details like the author name I showed you before, the topic category, the product version, the target audience, or any other relevant information you want that content file. So I can create a file tag, just I created author and status. I can also have some other meta set which talks about the categories and the target audience. So I want to say is it for who is eligible to view this particular content with that I'm creating now. For, or you can very well say, okay, this particular topic is for a person who has got an iPad, or who has got an iPhone, or anything else for Samsung phone version 4.0 and things like that. And then you want to have some other related information. So you will say that, okay, this particular mobile phone of this version has got a better accessible issue. So even if you have some vision problem, or you want to say that you have some color blindness, this particular phone model of the phone is very helpful for such people. So there's a little bit of information, but it's always necessary that you be very precise, okay, and precise, so that it is very easy for you to quickly search for that particular content and show you in the browser. Organization to manage metadata effectively. You can create a meta tag sets which group related tags together for easier access. That's what we are going to do. We are going to create a meta tag set now, and then we are going to see how we are going to have some meta tag sets here. Then accessing meta tags, you can access and edit meta tags value for a specific file by opening its property in the project organization. We'll be doing that because we have to also add some values. Okay, we are not going to provide all the values at the design time, but we will be giving them when at the time of selecting that particular topic. So what is the benefit of using meta tag? Although we are not still created a meta tag, but we should also know, okay, I have already have a file tag, I'm comfortable with that, I'm using it. But what is the benefit of using meta tag when I've already used familiar with file tag? Because the search and filtering. By assigning appropriate meta tags, you can usually search and filter content based on specific criteria. You have some criteria, right? You want to say that, can you just show me a topic which has been assigned to, say, Komal, okay, and then the next attribute that you want to say that it's user guide and implementation guide. So these are two criteria that you want to give for that particular author who is working on that particular project. The search filtering is going to go and get the information based on the text of the element that you have provided, and it's going to show you. So you will see that there are so many topics that she has been working, and so much of text that has been occurring in various topics, and that's what is going to do. The meta tag is going to work on the content. In micro content generation, meta tag can be used to generate a dynamic content like sidebars and related topics based on the tagged information. At this moment, the micro content is out of scope. This will be covered in the coming sessions. But micro content is very important because after topic, micro content is popular. Just like we had a sequential, we had Word, Microsoft Word with 100 pages together, then it came back to chapter wise in FrameMaker, then and it came back as topic based in RoboHelp, and today we are talking about micro content. So the contents is getting chunked. So SEO optimization, yeah, brief, phrase and response. If you want your content to be quickly retrieved from the project, you have to have a very brief phrase. Means what does this say? What is means like author? Okay, what is the response? Tell me, it is complete, or it is finished stage, or in progress stage. What you want? What response you want? So you have to get such a response. Okay, so when publishing to a website, certain meta tags can be used to improve the search engine optimization by providing relevant keyword and description. That's what I said. If you are saying that my meta is going to be content, the meta is going to be the name of the person, name, and the right hand side is going to be name of the person, like for example Komal, and then I come back to description, which is the other meta information, and saying that description is nothing but the string of keywords that I want to give, which will be retrieved based on the particular phrase and response. Okay. Now I am coming back again here because why this illustration is important. You have to look at the meta tag set or a file tag set and see how that particular those metadata information or attributes can be used by project, target, template page, snippet, topic, micro content, which means if you go and right click on project, or right click on target, right click on template page, snippet and all this, you will be finding this meta tag tab available there. You might probably see file tag also available there, which means that both the knowledge is required. It is recommended that you use meta tag now, but if you already have a file set that you have already created, you can still leverage that particular information in meta tag set. That I'll show you now slowly. So now many search engines don't use a meta tag for search ranking. So you may think that if I use this meta tag, I'll have a better search ranking. No, it is just for you to fetch the information based on the query or the term that you are going to request for fetching that information. So it means that many search engines don't even use meta tags for search ranking, which means if you give this meta tag information, it doesn't mean that among the list of all the pages in the world, mine would be ranked in the top 2 or 3. No. And keywords metadata is not used anymore in search engines. So don't use a search engine. Don't put that, okay, like if I'm going to work on some oil and petroleum, if I just type oil 20 times as a keyword, doesn't mean that the occurrence are more, or giving an assumption that there are many people who are searching for that word called oil, that it will be ranked higher in the search engine. No, it's not the case. Okay. So description is the most important meta tag that you want to do with SEO. So you have to give proper description. It is not the meta tag or the keyword, but meta tag that takes care of description keyword. So if you give a proper description, and that search engine is going to just bring that particular thing in the browser. So what is important? If you are using Matcalflare search engine, description meta tag shows up in the search result abstract. So your search result is when you go to a Google search and type some terms there. The moment you keep on typing, you can see certain. You see that Google is trying to search you, give you some suggested matching terms, or you could probably know that okay, you want the searchers. If you want to, if you have already typed a term in a word or something in Google search and press enter, you will get the search result abstract. So what do I mean by search result abstract? You may get the search results which may be 200, but based on the pagination of that particular search result, you may have asked that I need a search result abstract of around 20 records per page. Then based and it will show you 20 pages where you can just navigate to the second page, the third page with 10 each. This is very important. So if you are using Matcalflare search engine, description meta tag shows up in the search results abstract. Okay, so description comes there, but it does not work in Elasticsearch. It is still in progress, or maybe after this presentation or anytime you will probably Matcalflare may support search Elasticsearch. Okay. Now, robo meta tag has to do whether or not the web crawlers will index your topics to come to your search result. So there are even web crawlers, right? So you at the back end, if you see, whenever you're working on any of the topics, at the back end you see the markup language being written. For example, if you open a HTML file, or if you are typing something in the Matcalflare, and then you try to build, you'll see that your meta tags is written at the HTML. So you right click and say view source, your HTML is written at the back. So they are called as a markup. So at the same time, the robo meta tag is a crawler that tries to go and crawl and index those topics so that it can perform better searches next time. So just like file the other one, the file tag. But there's also some best practices for using Matcalflare meta tags. Okay, you need not have to just go immediately and start to go to advanced thing in Project Explorer and start creating meta tags. There are certain things that you need to follow as a best practice. First one is consistency. Use a standard naming convention for your meta tags across the entire project. If you are going to use some consistency, for example, suppose you are going to create a date and time, and you are going to maintain a format called MMDDYY is a format that we rather prefer to use it across all the topics in the project, then you use that convention, right? Don't use MMDDYY, DDYY, so that creates a lot of inconsistency, and sometimes it creates a confusion when that particular date and month is within the calendar month less than 30 or less than 15. You don't know which is month, which is date. Okay. Second is a categorization. Group related tag into a logical meta tag search to organize the content effectively. So you have to categorize it properly. Search and filtering. Leverage metadata tags to filter and search your content based on specific criteria, which is the flare. So we'll also see that now after this. Then second is the industry standard. If applicable, consider using industry standard meta tags to ensure compatibility and external systems. See here, I would like to say, maybe it's out of scope at this moment of time. We have style sheets. Matcalflare uses style sheets. Okay, so there are style sheets which are industry standard or based on the W3 consortium, the CSS style, but there are also Matcalf specific style sheets. So when we say if consider use industry standard, so it will be good because when this particular document moves to a different end user, okay, or probably you are trying to send this to someone who could just maintain the future releases of this particular document, using a standard tags or CSS would be recommended because it is a universal standard across across the globe. So CSS is an universal standard. But if you use MATCAP specific thing, then you should be very aware about what each of those MATCAP specific CSS or anything proprietary does. Documentation, clear document, clearly document the purpose and usage of each meta tag within your project for team collaboration. So if you are going to use some meta tag, like just like I said earlier, I just gave some name. By name, they don't know what I'm actually talking about, because I have to give a proper name. So, for example, I gave this as okay. So I am in MATCAP Player now. If you come to the project organization and advanced, you'll see I've put as demo author demo status. So what does it mean? Like if I come here and say clear document the clearly document the purpose and usage of each tag. So in this case, it is very clear that this particular meta tag I'm using it for a demo, and I have a list of all authors. And the second one, if I show this demo status, it shows that what is the status, that what is the state of that particular project or particular topic or particular document that has been allocated to you. So it will say that it's ready for review, or is the document is completed and it is ready to go for translation. So means translation to convert that particular content into various other languages, or in progress is I would like to know what is the percentage of completion and how much hour is left. So these are by looking at the file name, you can very well document it properly. So here this how it shows. So when I open the meta tag, I have three things. One is called the text, list, and file tags. The file tags is basically to help you use the file tags that you have defined before, so that you can leverage it with the meta tag. And then you'll see how to add the list meta tag in this, and how to add list meta tags in the other one, promotion set, general set, and also in the resource set. So I've got three meta tags which I have defined. One is called the general set, other one is called the promotion set, and third one is called the resource set. Why I have done this, I'll just show you when I open. So in this project, in this project organizer, if you come to the advanced, you have got a few tag sets which are already defined. One is called the general, which is called as a meta tag. Promotions is a meta tag, and resources is a meta tag. So if I just click on general, you will see that these are the tags that I've given. Like for example, I've created a meta tag called general. I've also got one more called as promotion. And the other one I got resources. Let me just go through and give you a quick thing about what it is like. So when I come to general, meta tag, I've just given this and given a just description, so that I want to enter the description at the time when I'm generating the output. Okay, so this particular meta can be given for each topic. I can go to one topic, right click, go to meta tag, go to general element, and give a different comment here. So the moment I give this particular topic, when it's converted into a HTML file, will have this particular information in the meta tag section of the HTML file. Similarly, if I come to the promotion here, I have a couple of things. I've got the same text here, just see here text, and list here. So if I come to resources, I've got this list for authors, text, list, and then I also have some when I say list, I'll be having this. Okay, I'm going to have hello, hey, hi. So these are checkboxes. So for this particular, these are the default that I'm trying to set. So when I go to project and right click and choose meta tag, I can probably go and change this particular. I can disable and enable, which means I can override the industrial settings or override the default settings. So that word override is very important. And resources is I would like to have a set of PDFs which I want to associate, or I could probably have a set of videos that I would like to associate here. Okay, so now how did I get this list text and all that? So here, if I come and click on the left hand side, you'll see the text distance file tags. When I say text, it will enter a text for me. So when I come and I can delete this. When I come and insert a list, it's going to give me a list here. I can just go and give a name, for example, a user guide. Okay, and then I can come here and say, okay, who are the authors who are going to be there? And then I can say Komal. Okay. Then I come and say, what? Come and say Amit. Okay, earlier what you were doing is you were just putting this in file tag. Now I am going and putting it into, I'm coming and adding it in a meta tag. So I can have n number of types. I can have a list type, a text type, and n file tag type. So and they can be used at the runtime. Okay, now I can just come here and say that by default I'm saying this particular topic is given to here, or I can just come here and say, okay, file, what is this meta tag is go for link to a file tag, and this, so I can just say, okay, status. So you can see it has given me complete, finished, ready, and I'll say that okay, the Komal has completed it. Fine. In case at the runtime you found that due to a lot of a big festival season, the project is still not got completed, you can just come back again and say like, okay, it's ready for review. Okay. Now let me save this and resource file. Watch this. I have put it as complete. Okay. And now I'll say. See, it says meta tag cannot be status. Okay. Now I'll come and say, okay, set already exists. So I can, okay, I'll come and say like, well, it's basically like you're based on the error messages. I think you're able to understand what I'm saying. Okay, it's done. Now I'll go to metadata. Okay. Meta, so I have come to meta 2 because in resource it is complete, finished, ready, but in here complete, finished, ready. Now here I'm going to say like it is in progress. In progress. Okay. In progress. Now what happened when I change when I modify this uh, file tag here for status and come back to resource, you will see that it's also where is it metadata? So I have seen this completed in progress. Okay, so it automatically updated this in the meta tag. Okay, now you have seen this. This looks good. Now let me go and see how it works now. Let me go and see how it works. I come to the Content Explorer. Okay, I'll just expand this. Come to some what's a new HTML. Okay. Okay. Fine. Now I'm going to also see how it works. So we're going to see like a text editor. Okay, follow my. See, if you see here, there's head, body. Okay. Now I'm going to click on this. Go to the properties. Come here to meta tag. Then it says general. And here if you see the description here is empty. Now I have to go and provide something here, right? So what's new? I'll go and type here, and please watch what happens in this particular under this head. Okay. So what's new? So we'll say what's a new in Madcap player release 2. So when I said come and OK, now look at this particular HTML file on the left hand side. Okay, see, did you find this? Did you find this coming automatically? So this metadata that you're seeing here is coming from that meta tag file, and the moment I went and gave some information at the runtime, it had put this now. But now what happens is I've got this text now. I want to do some keyword searches on that. So I'm coming here, entering a new tag which is called as a text. Okay, I'm saying it is as copyright. I'm coming to the value here. So if you come, when I come to the value copyright, I know that I've got some variables which are defined in my variable set. So I can come here and just click on this. Then I can say, is there any variable name here? Copyright? No. But if it is not there, then I can come to the variable here. I can come to the general I can come to variable here. I'll double click it. You can add the variable set here, copyright. Then you come to this particular topic and you go right. So I'm just entering something here for you, for your purpose. So I've just put this one variable. Okay, so if you have a copyright there, copyright for that this document is valid till 2027. So such stringent copyright messages do you have for your products, then you can come and enter here. Okay, so I'll save this. Okay, now we can also have this is called a general thing. Okay. Now the question now here is I have to go and search for some terms in the document. So I come here. I can come here, go to internal text editor. Now I want to do a find and replace here. I want to do a find and replace. When I click on this, okay, find and replace, I can say find and replace. Okay, and find and replace and find an element. So here in find and replace, I can just go and say what find Prabhu, or I can say find name and replace this, it will replace by it. Similarly, you can come here and say what tag I need. I need a meta tag. And come here and say what tag I need. I need a meta tag. Then I go to add row and then say I want to attribute. Here I come here. What I need a name. Okay, I need a name. So what is the name here? It's a description. Okay, the value is description. Then again I'll come here and add a row. Then I can come to attribute. Now this time it's going to be content, right? I'm not going to see content. And what is the content here? It is going to be this. Then I'll come back here and I'll tell them okay, just find out all this and say yes, find all. It's going to show me all this. So it says that in the getting started, your particular content, which is name and description, is available here. Okay, so that way you'll also do a search based on text and element. This is just a small thing. Now, if I want to go, if I generate an output, if I generate an output and go to the web browser, let me build this. Let me build this document. Now the compilation is complete. Now I'll double click it. Now I want to give this particular string as a search result and see whether it is able to extract the file. So I'll come back to search engine here, put this message here and just say okay. So it says that getting started, this is a getting started session and introduction to topic getting started by this particular string is available in this particular subject. So if I click on this, then I'm going to get this particular topic. So Lauren, so this way you will be in a position to use the metadata information more efficiently, and then it's very easy for you to have full control on the document, right? So you can also go and analyze a particular document and go to the more reports and generate various reports. You can get duplicate TOC items if there is in there, or you can say if there is any duplicate meta tags which are there. Okay, sometimes what happens is I may have three meta tags, but I have the same tags defined in all the different meta tag set. That's valid, but you may not probably create a same meta tag in the same particular meta tag set itself. So that's quite rare, but may not happen that way. You could also have a invalid meta value. These are the things for that. And on the second left, you see use the meta tag. So this will give you a list of all the. It will give you meta tags that I have actually used. Okay, so it will give you a list of things. I have used a Komal and then all this stuff. If you see here, it will give you. It will also give you the copyright messages, what I've used, what are the description. Everything will be shown here. So meta tag is on the left. Okay, meta tag set is this, and then content file and all that stuff. Okay, so it's just a overview of the summary information of your particular meta tag. And then if I come to undefined, it also say what are the undefined tags. See, sometimes so happens that I may have it have defined some tags, but may not have used the tags at all. So in that situation, it will give you the undefined tag metadata set, undefined styles, undefined file tags. Whichever one you want, you can just go and work on that. And you can work here on used meta tags. Here you can come and talk about duplicate meta tags, files without file tags. So you can just go and see whether I have applied any meta tags here. In here, if you see, I have not used any of the meta tags in all these documents. Okay, I also have a report. So this way you can work more efficiently, and you can have full control of the file, and then you can just go into the product and start working, and it will give a lot of confidence that even if your file is misplaced somewhere, you can definitely go and fetch it back again. So these slides I explain the one which I showed you just now in Matcap Flare. It shows you how to view the meta tags using analysis ribbon, how to use find text feature I just showed you on the right pane, how to use a find element feature which I showed you just now. And second thing is this particular analysis screen that I have showed you before gives you all the tags information that you want to search and what all tags information that has been unused and is there any duplicate or any undefined tags. Next one is it shows you a tabular information of all the used meta tag sets. So just a quick review because for people who don't have access to Matcap Player, but they want to get a brief idea about how it actually works and what are the type of interfaces they may probably come across. These are the interfaces will come. Like I showed you this feature in the meta tag information that it got entered. I used that in the right hand side pane for find and replay search. It gave me the list of topics where this particular text or element have been occurring in the project. And then here is the find element. I think I've shown this all to you. Yes. So you can also have. I said you can also go and find the list of what are the formats that's being supported in Matcap Flare. Okay. So we have come to the end of this particular topic on meta tag. I hope you enjoyed both the file tag and meta tag, and you got a very clear understanding of what was the old feature of meta tag that was supporting and how meta tag is supporting more type of components now, like a list, text, and even integrating with the file set. So it extends the functionality of metadata information in the generated output of HTML5. So I hope you enjoyed this session. If you have any doubts, feel free. And for more information, contact training@metapercept.com. Okay, you can get in touch. And also, a kind request is if you have any questions or anything that you need further information, please get in touch. Thank you so much once again. Bye.